Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Dynamo Football Book Club Injury Time. My name's Al Bond and I'm here with my co-host Johnny Coughlin.
Hey Al, how are you?
So this week we are returning to the music well, aren't we? Dipping our buckets in the footballer and music well again, Johnny.
And it's deeper. It gets deeper every time.
Yeah, this is wild. I'm hesitant to say good music here, but there is some of this music that I actually quite like, and from a very unlikely source. But we'll get to that. Johnny, you're very nice and tall, aren't you? Very handsome. How are you?
Didn't expect that. Thank you very much, Al.
I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to compliment you every episode now, Johnny, in a new way.
Okay. And something wrong?
No, it's fine. I just think it's nice. It's pleasant to start the episode with that. And I've already spunked two of my compliments, tall and handsome. Let's just stick with tall today. You can be handsome another week. You're very tall, Johnny. How tall are you?
Not that tall. I'm a shade under 6'3". I'm the smallest member of my family other than my mother.
Thank you. I was working with a lad the other day. I am 5'11" and 3/4. It's one of the great regrets of my life. Also, not learning guitar. And I was working with his kid. Like he was like 5'9". He's like, I'm 6 foot. It's like, oh, you fuckers like 6 foot. It's like you must be about 6'4". It's like you are mad. Genuinely, I had a genuine conversation. You've never been measured ever?
He had height dysmorphia.
Yes, he did. Genuinely, it's nuts. I want to show you a picture. Anyway, so this list this week, we're going to state the footballer in ascending order of significance. Is that the correct way of stating that, Johnny?
Well, we did previously when we talked about music from the UK. It was easy to put it into a list because they charted, but a lot of these didn't. But they are some of the most significant footballers. What you describe as the Mount Rushmore of footballers. So it's worth a listen, just simply because they're such behemoths of the game.
So we'll go with the least famous footballer first, and we'll climb the charts to the most famous footballer.
Yeah, and it's quite a few songs to get through. So we better
don't worry about that.
A couple of fun things before we get to that. There was a guy his name was Jeff Taylor. He was a footballer in the 50s and 60s in England. And he played in the second and third division for Huddersfield, Fulham and Brentford. And while he was a professional footballer, he used his wages to learn how to become an opera singer. And after football, that's what he did. He became a professional opera singer. He performed under the name Nielsen Taylor, and you can listen to him on YouTube. You know, it's old-time opera stuff. So, you know, the recordings sound old-timey as well. And then he later became, this is quite a title, I think, Professor of Singing at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music in Glasgow. It's quite nice, isn't it?
That is nice, Johnny. That's another of my regrets, that I never got formal opera training. I'm sure I could have done that.
Well, you could have been Professor of Singing. His younger brother, Ken Taylor, played football also for Huddersfield and was a professional cricketer. And his son also played cricket for Yorkshire. That's something, isn't it? What a bunch.
It is something. Yeah. Seems to me anyone could become a sportsman in the old days, right? Just practice for ages and you'll be good enough.
Yeah, maybe they'll be saying that in a few years' time about our generation as well.
Like in England, there was like about 600 people before the war. There wasn't really many people, so you're bound to be good at something. There's just no one there.
Yeah, and there's like before you get onto the real big names of football, there is a whole bunch of them. There was a guy called Gavin Holligan who played for West Ham. Like he played one game for West Ham, but he became a session musician. So there is fellas who are actual musicians. The most famous of all, I guess, is Julio Iglesias. So Julio Iglesias was a goalkeeper for Real Madrid. He got in a car accident and then he learned the guitar. So if you'd been in a car accident, maybe you would have learned the guitar. Do you remember Danny Osvaldo?
Yes, I do. Southampton hard man. Came from Juve? Yes.
Yeah, he played for big enough teams and he's Argentinian and he plays in a band called Barrio Vejo. it's utter shit now. It's like Creed or something like that. But he looks like, you know, that guy who's Aquaman, like Jason Momoa. He kind of has that kind of look. He looks like a rock star, but his music is bad. And of course, there's Slaven Bilic of Rawbow.
Oh yeah, there's a few of these, isn't there? Like, I mean, Slaven Bilic did a song. It was like I saw Petr Cech released a charity single with Roger Taylor, the drummer from Queen, in 2019.
They're both drummers. Two drummers.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably indicative of how shit it is. And the song was called "That's Football." Oh God, who is listening to that song? Who?
Well, I don't know if anyone's listening to it.
Who 5 years later is going, Dad, stick on that brilliant song, "That's Football," featuring the drumming of Petr Cech and Roger Taylor.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel where he plays drums to whatever existing songs. It's called Soundcheck. I did appreciate that.
Yeah, you just have to be in English football and you get sucked into the hideous Gareth Ainsworth style dad rock of it all. Like, I mean, Petr Cech probably wanted to play something cool, but by the end he's like, Roger Taylor from Queen, that's football. I suppose that's fine.
Anyway, okay, let's talk about the people who we've decided that are maybe one other, because it's not actually, we talked about this when we did a book about him, but Garincha, there's a song by, remind me of her name, Elsa Suarez.
Elsa Suarez,
yeah, called Pe Redondo. This came up in his book when we did the book about him, the biography, and he was just, so his missus was Elsa Suarez, this, you know, behemoth. I keep saying behemoth. This giant of Brazilian music. And she heard him humming one day and said, "What's that?" And he said, "I don't know." And then she went and took the tune and made a song out of it. So that's also on YouTube. And it's nice. It's nice. A Brazilian number, you know.
Inspired by the humming of Garincha.
Inspired by humming of Garincha.
Have you ever seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? Have you heard of that show?
No, that was a whole set of words that confused me totally there.
It was like a comedy show from 20 years ago, and the likes of Matt Berry and Richard Ayoade were on it. It's pretty good. Anyway, on the start, it says like written by Garth Marenghi, directed by Garth Marenghi, music by blah 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 blah, inspired by the humming of Garth Marenghi. Like, so, yeah,
really?
all ties in. It was always a silly joke.
Matt Berry is a surprisingly good musician, isn't he? He has good songs.
Oh, does he? I don't know anything about that. No.
Yeah, and I know this because one of the audio beds in Second Captains, when Eric Cantona is jumping into the crowd, I know you listen to Second Captains, that's Matt Berry singing.
Is it?
Yeah. Take My Hand is the name of that song. It's a lovely song. And the funny thing about his singing is he's got that kind of comedy, Brian Blessed almost type voice, but he doesn't sing like that at all. So it sounds like that voice is totally put on.
His voice is his fortune, isn't it? Like, that voice. He's famous in America. Like, everyone knows who Matt Berry is. It's nuts. No one knows who Steve Coogan is, but everyone knows who Matt Berry is. Alrighty, okay.
Nobody knows who Steve Coogan is.
Not one person.
What about you?
Anyone apart from me.
Yeah, okay. Right. Tell me, what have you got for me?
All right, well, I'm going to get some contemporary footballers off the board right from the get-go. Here's a fun one. Do you remember a reserve keeper at Tottenham Hotspur? A goalkeeper. His name was Golini. Golini. Do you remember that, lad?
Golini.
Golini.
Yeah. For a goalkeeper.
Call yourself a Man United fan. He was actually in the Man United youth system, no less.
Oh, go on. And he's Italian, is he?
Yep. And he released a record called Rapper Coi Guanti, which means a rapper with gloves. And he went under the name Glorious. Glorious. And he had 1 million views on YouTube, so well done him. He doesn't look like a rapper.
Does he look like a goalie?
I thought he looked a bit like Harry Kane. I'd be struggling to think of anyone on earth who looks less like a rapper than Harry Kane does.
Da bambino sognavo questo, sudore, lacrime sul campo, la mia fatica e il mio successo, fra devi credere in te stesso, la la maglia col mio nome, lo stato e la tensione.
Italian is better for rap, right? It's nice language for rap.
Yeah, it's got a flow to it, I'd say, without trying to expose myself to ridicule with my limited vocabulary on that. But yeah, it sounds a bit better. So I'll move on to my next Italian rapper, can I, Johnny?
But it's just going in direction of, it's going a bit in the direction of reggaeton. And he's got kind of Vanilla Ice vibes as well, doesn't he? Golini.
One of the greatest rappers in the history of music.
Okay, tell me your next one.
Don't make me rap it, Johnny. 'Cause I will, and I'd love to. All right, well, here's another one. Now this Moise Kean, how'd you say that? Moise Kean played for Everton.
Yeah.
That Moise Kean.
But he's big, right?
Yeah, and I think he's having a bit of a career renaissance. He's at Fiorentina now, and he's actually banging them in. I've heard him play for Forest, and I'd take him.
For his goals or for his rap?
Very much for his goals. Yeah, I mean, I tell you, here's a lad who has been very heavily influenced by Drake. This is some low energy rapping. Pretty awful. He goes under the name KMB. The song I was looking at was called Outfit. I saw a little breakdown on the internet, and it says it's primarily Italian, some in English, and he references luxury brands in his lyrics. He certainly does. So it's KMB, MW, and Papillon appearing in the video. Papillon is a particularly unpleasant-looking character. I imagine if you were trying to score some heroin in Rome, you'd be scoring off someone who looks very much like Papillon. He is a grim, shady-looking fella. He's awful. I think there's a Sopranos. You know where they go to Italy? And I think Chris Moltisanti's trying to score heroin, and I think he scores it off Papillon, who goes on to rap with KMB. He is grim.
Is he the white dude or the
Yeah, he's the white dude. Wash your hair, sir.
Sto arrivando ragazzi e dentro la Benz ci sono solo bitch.
Solo cash nella Benz.
Vogliamo solo contanti.
I think there are a lot of brand names referenced here, but I don't know. And I'm reminded of a time I used to have a Brazilian girlfriend, and for a year I lived in Brazil, and for a couple of weeks she lived in Sao Paulo, but we went up to Rio to visit, and we went to Ipanema Beach. And Ipanema Beach, believe you me, is absolutely packed out. You can, it's like you get a little postage stamp of space. You put your towel down and you sit there. And we were surrounded by these like beautiful young kids from Rio, and Ipanema is apparently a very rich area. And my then girlfriend, she looked at me and she goes, "You know how fucking lucky you are? You can't speak Portuguese. You cannot hear all the shit that these people are saying." And it's like, I guess I am lucky, aren't I? Like, these people are disgusting. You're so lucky you can't understand them. And I feel a bit that way a bit about this song. I'm glad I don't know what Moise Kean's rapping about, because I think it's just rhyming like, horrible brat Ferrari, Balenciaga. I like really expensive things. Aren't I rich? Ugh.
It's pretty depressing that you could be so into something and the fellas you're watching are just like some of the most vapid pricks in the world. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are. Fortunately, not one of them that plays for my team. They're all lovely lads.
Yeah.
I'm sure not like that.
Yeah, I can't imagine Chris Wood rapping about Ferraris and Gucci or whatever.
No, neither can I. Although I can imagine Callum Hudson-Odoi doing that. Anyway.
And you would like it. I told you last time we talked about rap that I've never actually listened to Drake. Is that Drake vibes?
Just low energy. Drake is just super low energy. Like, none of these guys are like imitating like late 90s Eminem, are they? Like, none of it's like high value, because that's actually difficult. This is just basically like droning on with auto tune. Like, look at me, I'm a rapper. Look how old I am. I could be a rapper, Johnny. Yeah, just give me some auto tune. It's great. All right, and I'll finish off my trio, and we won't delve back into this again. I've got one more. Contemporary footballer. We got it. Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao, his name, obviously, Leao means lion in Portuguese. That never occurred to me. His name is Rafael Lion. That is so good. It's so good.
Is he way 45?
Yeah, he's way 45, exactly that. And I've got Leia featuring Salah.
Why didn't he just stick with Rafael Lion Man? So,
Yeah, you should come up with rappers' names, Johnny. That's brilliant. Like, your name should be Lion Man. You should be Tiger Boy. And Cat Girl. Oh, Rafael Leao has got 135,000 YouTube subscribers. This song is entirely in Portuguese, apart from there's 2 lines in English. And those lines are young, rich, N-word, and I don't give a fuck. It's really good stuff. Really, really lovely
let's have a
stuff.
listen.
Young, rich, nigga, baby just on me. Ela cria briga, tô no rasa por nós, por isso fica tranquila. Tu conhece o meu feitio, casa. Don't give a fuck, cê me ficas lost. Sou motivo de discussões com as tuas amigas, porque eu não sou. Elas querem todo lugar, mas confiança eu não dou. Lido com problemas e desses eu não dou valor. Longe fico pensado nesse corpo. Posso demorar, mas sabes que
It's a weird video.
Yeah, but Portuguese is not bad a language either. Dutch is the worst, we've decided, and Portuguese is fine.
I just think any of the Northern European languages don't really lend themselves to rapping. But of course, English apparently does. So what do I know?
So move over Drake low energy rap shit, and let's get on to the shit of the 60s and the 70s. Because these are the real big names of football. I don't think we even need to play this, but Zlatan lent his voice to a remix of Sweden's national anthem, which is just him talking the words. It's shit. But that got to #1 of some radio station. To be fair, I suppose what we've tried to listen to before is fellas trying to do legitimate music. Johan Cruyff did a song in 1969, and it's like oi oi oi, which is kind of essentially ouch ouch ouch, and it's a novelty song.
Ouch.
The full translation of the title is ouch ouch ouch, that was another big whack. But this got to #21 in the Netherlands.
This is a song about him getting tackled hard.
Yeah.
Very, very relatable, isn't it? Like, very relatable for people. Just like when this is our song. That was my first dance at my wedding.
Let's have a listen to this. Do you remember that song? It was Paul McCartney's brother was in the band. You remember a drink, to Lily the Pink?
The Pink. Yeah, I certainly do remember that song.
It's got that kind of vibe going on.
Oh, yeah, I don't love that. And that song has never, ever been played without someone going, do you know about Paul McCartney's brother? You know? Every single time someone said that. A lot of that time's been me. But yeah, that is one of them, isn't it?
It was the United fans singing about Cantona, Eric the King, the King, the King. Will I give you another one? Will I stay in the Netherlands?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Ruud Gullit had, modest success, let's say. He had a couple of reggae-influenced tracks. Have you heard Not the Dancing Kind?
Yeah, I heard a bit for my research last time.
It's not terrible.
It's not great, but yeah, it's not terrible.
And Not the Dancing Kind. And in the video, what do you think he's doing?
I'm going to assume he's dancing.
Oh, he's dancing away. Yeah, he is dancing away. But that didn't chart. But then he had another song with a band called Revelation Time. And this was called South Africa. This was a protest against apartheid. And it's reading here now. It showcased Gullit's commitment to social issues. But it reached #3 in the Dutch charts.
Fucking pisses me off that Nelson Mandela gets all the credit for that. And there's old Ruud Gullit slaving away in the music studio, getting bugger all credit. when I was first became football conscious, he was the best player in the world. And I don't think there's ever been a transfer ever where I was like, what the fuck, Ruud Hullit's going to play in England? I couldn't believe it. I was so excited when he signed for Chelsea.
I don't think he was trying to come across as a real musician or anything, but it's neither is it an in-your-face novelty song either. Somewhere in between.
I just think he was probably in a position at that point in his career where people are like, I really like Ruud Gullit. And I don't want to see him just confined to a football pitch. Just give me more Ruud Gullit. It was like Gazza at the time. It's like, oh, Gazza's great, isn't he? Like, is there another thing we could just get more Gazza? Music. Yeah, I bet that was like the Gullit thinking. He's like, look at lovely Gullit. Now let's go and do some music.
Remember when we did the Di Stefano book and we didn't talk about it, but he acted in like 4 or 5 films in Argentina and in Spain.
It's because of his good looks, wasn't it, Johnny? His matinee idol looks like, oh, it's Di Stefano.
They must just have all manner of things, opportunities thrown at them. Property deals, various types of pyramid schemes that come their way, no doubt. But okay, sticking with these, like obviously these are the big guys. As we know, and it's probably not worth playing really, Socrates had an album, but it's kind of rubbish, isn't it? And I don't think it had any success in the charts.
Socrates, Johnny, you have unwittingly provided me with a beautiful segue. Thank you. Say no more. Say less. Say less, Johnny, because my next one is maybe not a big name, but was a winner of the 1984 Euros and in the 1986 World Cup finals, saved a penalty from Socrates. Come on, look at that, beautiful. I'm, of course, talking about Joel Batz. Joel Batz, the French keeper. Is this a name you're familiar with?
No.
Neither was I. He's 5'10". Didn't they fucking think maybe in the old days that it might be an advantage to be a bit taller as a keeper? Like in France, do they just not
French
realise
keepers.
that?
Barthez, Bernard Lama, they're all tiny. Even the Spurs lad. Yeah, Lloris.
Not big.
No, not big.
They've got the same tape measures as my mate at work. Like, oh, he's 6'2". He's 5'10". Anyway, so Joel Batz, this is a lovely, interesting character, and probably the one that brought me the most joy. He, in 1982, tragically was suffering. Well, not tragically, he was suffering from testicular cancer, and used the time off football to start writing poetry. And by 1986, he'd released an album and a song called Solitude. Now, this, Johnny, is truly magnificent. It's him speaking French over a quiet thing. Solitude, je t'aime. It's, a little bit Serge Gainsbourg.
Serge Gainsbourg, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you can get that on, it was a lot of fun. And he actually performed it. It's absolutely wild. Pre to the 1986 World Cup, all the France team were in a studio in France, and he performed it in front of all of their incredulous-looking faces. You can find that video online. It's wild. I can hear that, Johnny, and it soothes me.
Je pense qu'on peut se tutoyer entre nous. Depuis le temps qu'on fait tous deux les garçons. Tu sais, je t'ai trouvé fatigué l'autre nuit. À la sortie du stade.
So that was a single, Solitude. He released another song with children in mind called Escargot, about a little snail. How cute. And his album was called Gardien de ta nuit, which means the keeper of your nights.
Yeah, okay. Yes. That is nice. But maybe it is a Gainsborough thing, because now you've given me a segue, because Cantona's music is not a million miles from that, is it?
No, not a million miles away. I heard someone compare Eric Cantona's music to the music of William Shatner, but it's sort of like the same vibe.
Well, I guess Cantona has kind of gone that kind of self-parody route suddenly, which is a bit unfortunate because he was such a legend. But much like Julio Iglesias, he wasn't in a car accident, but during COVID he said he wanted to learn the guitar, so he went off and he learned the guitar. And he's had a couple of songs. The Friends We Lost was the first one, which I think maybe is about COVID, is it? I don't know. And then I'll Make My Own Heaven, which is just him kind of boasting about the various things that he can be.
There's a lot of tragic COVID-based hits, wasn't there, in 2022, 2023? Couldn't get enough of it. Like, let's be reminded of that time, like, the Friends we lost in COVID. Well, I'm not laughing if you did lose a friend. Lovely.
Some of us have to pay the bills in peace, our enemies.
Gainsbourg vibes, but I guess more than anything, big Cantona vibes, isn't there? He did a tour. He performed in Dublin. He played in England and stuff like that as well.
How many of the people in the crowd were not Man United fans, you think?
I'd say about 0.
People's wives, right? There's like people's wives had to turn up like, hey, I've bought tickets for a concert. Oh, thank you. That's lovely. It's Eric Cantona. What?
By the way, just as an aside, you know Clarence Clemens, have you ever heard of him?
No, I haven't.
He is the saxophone player for the E Street Band.
Right.
But he played college football, as in American football, not soccer. But he was like a proper athlete. He's a big man. And you know Nelly, the rapper from St. Louis, from the Loop?
Yep.
He was also like a baseball player. He could have become a baseball player, but he became a rapper.
He's the one with the plasters on his face, right? Band-Aids.
Exactly.
Yeah. Getting hot in here? Was that him?
Yeah. Country grammar?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're veering off a bit here. Who have you got left?
Well, I've got the big guy left, Johnny. The big boy.
You've got two big boys left. Why don't you give me both of those?
Oh well, I've got one big boy.
Your favorite player in the world ever, with the exception of Stuart Pearce?
I think Morgan's getting up there now. Yes, my favourite all-time player, Stuart Pearce.
But what will you do when Morgan goes to, I don't know, Spurs in a few weeks' time? Wash
your mouth out. Fucking Spurs. But you go, don't. If he goes to fucking Spurs, Johnny, I could take it if he went to City or something, but oh God, to see my beautiful boys. It really upset me.
Can you go on? Okay, put that to one side. All right, let's hear your other favourite. So, am I right in saying, of all of the people that we've done books about, I don't think that you thought the book about Beckenbauer was the best book, but he seemed to be the person you were most taken with.
Well, a lot of it was just I knew the name for so long, but I'd never really seen him play. And then watching him play in those clips, wow, what a footballer he was. It just, and the elegance of a man, and the Adidas tracksuits of a man, and the whole New York late 70s thing of a man. Yeah, I've got a real soft spot for Beckenbauer.
The old corrupt, conniving Franz Beckenbauer.
Get out of it. Lovely Franz Beckenbauer. Bad husband, great footballer.
What did Janet Wilson describe him to Ollie Hess, the author?
He's like the most loathable bureaucrat in European football.
The most loathsome, yeah. Yeah, but your favourite player. Okay. Let's hear his song.
Du allein sollst immer bei mir sein. Du allein siehst in mein Herz hinein. Du allein weißt, was mich glücklich macht, denn du allein hast mir das große Glück gebracht.
Remember the name of his agent was Robert Schwan. I see Robert Schwan's hand in this now. Thought they could earn a little bit of money.
So this is Do a Line, isn't it? Do a Line, which is just basically a folky, just absolute horror show of a song, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the sort of thing. People talk about the 60s like, oh, the music was so brilliant. But if you actually look at the charts from like 1967, The Summer of Love, there's a song by the Stones there and there's a song by the Beatles there. But the rest of it is absolute shite, like absolute sentimental rubbish.
Herman and the Hermits or something like that.
And not even as good as that. Like, a lot of it is just absolute dross. And I think certainly Do a Line by Franz Beckenbauer falls into that category.
But do you know, interestingly, as I've written here in my notes, it was the B-side, which is called Good Frenda Can Namond Trennen. Good friends can never be separated, or the friends be lost. The B-side reached number 31 on the charts. It did better than the actual A-side.
No, there you go. Yeah, people have no lingering interest in the musical career of Franz Beckenbauer. Well, I want to revive it, Johnny. Get yourselves out, get a bit of Do a Line down your ears. You'll be loving it. You won't, it's rubbish, but...
Do a Line sounds like something else as well.
Oh, it does, doesn't it, Johnny? Well, not a world I know anything about, sir.
Gute Freunde, wie wir uns nennen, ja, die sind sich so eins wie nie, wenn sie spielen und helfen können, in der Fernsehlotte.
We've all been waiting for this, haven't we? Who's the biggest ever footballer?
Well, so we're going to do this together. Yeah, the biggest ever. Old Nascimento de what's his face.
Edson Arantes de Nascimento.
Yeah. Cast member of Mike Bassett, England manager, father of 7, Brazil Minister for Sport, 1995. Pele.
He's a father of 7. Come on, Pele. He's prolific.
Yeah, he is. And this is what I found absolutely astonishing, is his album. Pretty good, Johnny. I liked it. It was released in 2006. It's called Pele Ginga. Ginga. Now, reading around this, like everyone always says, oh, Brazil play Joga Benito. But apparently in Brazil, they say, oh, Ronaldinho, Ginga football. I don't know what it means. I'm just giving you that. That's what I read, and that's as much as I got out of it. But yeah, Pele Ginga is all a part of like... it's a way to play football, apparently. And so Pele Ginga is about that, although there is absolutely no football influence in the Pele album. And I've listened to all of it. I really liked it, Johnny. I really liked it.
One of the songs that called My World is a Ball. there is a football influence.
Look at Flat Earther. The world is a ball, Johnny. It's round. Trying to dispute that.
Mi mondo è una bola. Yeah. But
the biggest hit on it was Oradita Noveo, Listen to the Old Man. And I like listening to the old man. Good for him. He's got all that sexy Brazilian sound, which is always in the Brazilian music. You know what I'm talking about? I've no idea what I'm just hooting into a microphone here, Johnny.
So
Brazil. Okay.
Are we talking about the same album? It came out in 1977, yeah?
No, it came out in 2006, Pele Ginga.
Okay, because the one I'm talking about was earlier, and it was a collaboration with Sergio Mendes, who I gather is quite a big deal in Brazilian music, and it was Pele's debut as a singer and songwriter, although I have a feeling Sergio Mendes might have helped Menge.
I really feel like Sergio Mendes got elbowed by Ben Thatcher about 15 years ago. Wasn't that a Sergio Mendes Spurs player? Remember when Ben Thatcher really whacked him?
Was that also the one that went over the line against United? Was that Mendes? Is it the same guy?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it
Yeah,
was. Yeah, but Roy Carroll, right? Roy Carroll and
yeah, because that guy did play for Portsmouth and Spurs. Okay, so all right, well,
just sticking on Roy Carroll very, very quickly. Have you ever seen a more example of like his body language after that happened? Do you see what he was doing? Do you remember that incident? And after he sort of threw the ball out, but he kept like pulling on his shirt, like you could
Oh
see
yeah,
he felt so. Yeah, his body language was so nuts. I thought it was really interesting. Like, have you ever
yeah,
seen that?
yeah,
He sort of throws it out. He knows he's got away with it, but he feels dirty. He's trying to pull his shirt off him. Like it is ever so interesting.
yeah.
But yes.
Is
Yeah,
it
so
going to
I
be
really
like?
like the Pele album. If you ever want to listen to a truly great album, listen to the City of God soundtrack. It's absolutely brilliant. And it really reminded me of that, in as much as it's Brazilian music. But I
I did.
genuinely enjoyed this album. I thought it was good.
Well, I listened to a good bit of Elsa Suarez when we were doing the Grinch book because I had read online that she was named the joint greatest singer of the of the 20th century together with Tina Turner. And yeah, I
What?
do you not remember this? No.
What? The 20th century, the two paramount female singers were Elsa Soares. And who, what? Say it again. Tina Turner.
We've been through this before. Anyway, yeah, I actually love that Elsa Suarez stuff insofar as I listened to it non-stop for 2 weeks and haven't listened to it again since. I think maybe that Brazilian music has that kind of influence on me. I can listen to it very actively for a small period of time and then forget about it entirely.
Oh yeah, I just find it transportive. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's me. Samba in a way. Ooh.
You make it sound like, you know, those people in, like, if you go to Cowson Road and they sell those little frogs that you rub you rub the little stick up the back of the wooden frog. It makes that noise.
Is that what that sound is in Brazilian music? It's a little wooden frog they got from the Kosan Road.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it. Pele is the best player. The best player and the best singer. Of all of those songs, what was the one that you enjoyed the most?
Yeah, Oradita Noveo. Listen to the old man Pele, and I do recommend it. Listen to Pele's music. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and we had read in one of the books, I guess there must have been, was it Garincha? Yeah, it must have been Garincha, that Pele did bring his guitar along on trips away and stuff. He was, like, into music. He would sit and he would play music.
Yeah, that's it. Apparently, yeah, carried a guitar and a tape recorder in case he got a lick that he needed to record.
He is the Andy Reid of Brazilian football.
Well, that's a compliment to both Pele and Andy Reid. Yeah, that's it. Pele actually hidden depths, which I always thought Pele was pretty boring. I thought he was like the Messi of like olden days football, but no, Pele is a whole lot cooler than Messi.
Yeah, I always thought that about Pele as well. He was a bit boring. By the way, another Irish footballer who plays guitar is Shane Long. He's a guitar player.
Too busy practicing the fucking guitar and not busy practicing the hit the back of the fucking net, aren't you, Shane? Like, there you go. Put your guitar away, son. Get outside.
Yeah, I have a feeling the Irish guitar playing footballers might be just like, you know, singer-songwriter-y type vibes, or maybe kind of folky kind of vibes. I can't imagine they're... I'd say they don't take it quite as serious as Denny Osvaldo.
Oh, they're playing fucking Wonderwall, aren't they? You know they are. They were knocking out. Here's one for you, kids. It's Wonderwall. Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Leighton Baines, the light nodding his head along.
Fucking Leighton Baines.
Yeah, so none of these guys have had the success that old Jesse Rodriguez, and Memphis Depay have had in the world of music, and most of it is pretty cat. But it is kind of fun all the same, isn't it?
No, some of it's really fun. I mean, I do get a kick out of the videos. I just like the sort of impersonation of a proper hip hop video. And it's like, look, it does look like it. And it's like directed by, which is weird, isn't it? Like it's a fucking movie in a cinema. But then, yeah, just Raphael Leao, like basically the female equivalent of me turns up in the video. Like it's like I'm J-Lo's backing dancer. It's like that equivalent. Like he's not that bad, but really, he's in the wrong place. He's could be worse, but that's not right.
Yeah, and they all go for that thing where there's about a minute of just noise before there's any of the rapping happens. You know, the scenes and like that guy Golini, glorious. There's a minute of him as a child practicing football before you get to any of the actual music.
Yeah, I believe that was like De La Soul. You remember that album, 3 Feet High and Rising? It was so hip, like in the 80s. It was like the greatest album, but I think they sort of introduced that yakking on before a song bit. So horrible influence there. Don't do it. The number of people are just ruined by just some awful skit between songs. Like, just, do you remember the Eminem albums? You ever listen to them back in the day?
Or Kanye, like College Dropout. Every third or fourth song is like just some fucking bullshit where he's like Kanye trying to be funny.
Little did we know that. Little did we know where that would go. Yeah, but that's it. Always some really vulgar skit. Like, just play the music, lads. Play the music. I know you think you're funny, but on the 10th listen, it's not funny anymore.
Poor old Kanye.
Not poor old well, yes, actually mentally ill Kanye, genuinely poor Kanye, but also, dear God, can you be mentally ill in a better way? Just stay at home and be paranoid, like, shh, shut up, shut your mouth. I've got a pair of, this will be good for you viewers, but I know that to hand, look, here we are, Johnny, look at this. This is a pair of shoes my wife bought from the Kanye West range. Can you see? She's like, well, these will be worth something someday. No, it's just socks with a like a rubber thing on the bottom. Look at them.
2 rubber things. There's ever one for the
it's like it's a part of a wetsuit. Oh, mate, look at them. It's so crazy. I've honestly used them for getting like stuff out the oven. You can slide them on. Slide them on and use them as like oven gloves. Insane. Fucking all shit. That's Kanye's boot kicking the microphone. Yeah, wild stuff. How much you spend on them, darling? Don't worry about it. I'm worried about it. That's what we're funding Kanye's insanity. Yeah, I think it's like $40, like, which is $40 more than they're worth.
Okay, that's football and music and Kanye.
I enjoyed that, Johnny. I enjoyed looking at Raphael Leao's big buttock-holder lady in a white jumpsuit. I enjoyed that. Like, what are you doing there? Hello.
Okay, Al, so tell me, what book are we doing next? I can't remember.
Do you speak football?
By?
Tom Williams.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, thank you very much, Al. And just to restate, Al, we have a new website. We've got our Reddit up and running, you and I. Yeah, so please come join us, talk about books on the internet. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Johnny.
Acredita no velho, pode falar, Mizefio, que o velho tem força, faz seu time ganhar. O dinheiro é pro santo, pode pagar, Mizefio, que o velho não cobra pra trabalhar.
Acredita no velho, pode falar, Mizefio, que o velho tem força, faz seu time ganhar. O dinheiro é pro santo, pode pagar, Mizefio, que o velho não cobra pra trabalhar.
O bode da Índia custa R$7.000. Me dá o dinheiro que eu mando comprar. A galinha africana custa R$4.000. Fica tranquilo que ela não deixa falhar.